Thank you. I know that there's a couple folks that have to leave early. Where were you on your time?
I'm all set.
Okay,
whenever
okay,
it
good,
takes.
perfect.
Okay.
We'll get you in there. So if you haven't already done so, please, just even if it's a citizen, so in, here is Captain Hallisey along with Ann Beauregard and myself. And I'm going to be letting some folks in, Megan, as they are coming. So if you can continue to do this. And then we have the mayor coming on, and we have Councilor Azak. So I'm going to just keep an eye out for this.
Yep.
Megan, I'm sorry, if I'm having a difficult time trying to let people in from my.
I am on it. I've been doing it.
it. Thank you. I think I'm able to do it from my office and not from here. So let me just let a couple more folks come on while we're doing this. We can go right into. So that is Seamus, Megan's from right.
That was
Yeah.
Kellen. Seamus said.
I'm sorry, Kellen.
Yeah,
right.
Seamus is probably at
So-
school.
so, Megan, if you keep an eye on that, and then we can just go right into the agenda. So first and foremost, thank you, everybody, and thank you for your patience. Taking the month of August was actually so good for me because, as you all know, there's another full-time job that I have on top of this, but it is it's really important to, that there will be really important that we stay on continued. There's, as you saw, there's so many different things that are going on, and trying to stay on top of that is going to be really important. The DBA is going to be planning on doing a newsletter it's really going to be focused though, and before you get too excited, really it's going to be focused on property owners and business
No,
owners.
that's great.
And so-
No, I'm not
okay,
against it.
I know,
Yeah.
we're gonna, because we have other folks that are on, but,
Yeah.
so we're gonna
That's
be
great.
looking to do that, the newsletter, just because it'll be a little bit easier in sending information out, because as you saw, you know, from the first time I sent this out, there were some new things that came on, and then there was an event on Monday. So welcome again, and happy last day of summer. My goodness, if you haven't been outside, which I've only been this morning, my recommendation is that you do. We are recording this, so we will be sending out the YouTube video for those that are not able to. I just want to be able to say thank you to Adelsa Mendes. I know she's not on here today, but there was a little going away for her last week, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with her. She has done a whole lot for the city of Brockton in a short period of time, and while we're losing her to the city of New Bedford, but I know her heart was always in Brockton and won't ever go too far. But also want to welcome, it took two people to replace Adelsa, but they're wonderful, Cody and Kelly from the Brockton Redevelopment Authority. They are really spectacular in terms of what they've been doing. I've had the opportunity to go once out on a Friday, door to door to some businesses, and was really great to do that. The important piece is that we capture what things are going out there. So we'll continue to do that. And the hope is that we'll be having some fun things go along the way. Next on the agenda, and I know I want to be recognizing the public officials that are on. And let me just see if I can get this. I know that we have Counselor, I'm getting through this list. Counselor Jeff Thompson, Ward 5 Counselor Jeff Thompson, thank you for joining us. I know Counselor Shirley Azak is joining us, and the mayor is on as well. So thank you all. We'll be coming to your updates just really shortly. And then, but I want to be able to introduce Amanda Glennon. Amanda's from NeighborWorks, and she has joined the team in coordinating things for the holiday parade. So last year it was only about 8 weeks, maybe even that's generous, pulling together the holiday parade. But this year we really are digging in, and we've got word out. In the packet that I'd sent out, there is a flyer. This flyer, if you have not seen it, I have poster size here at the office, but please share that. It's going to happen. And as we get, it really be contingent upon the volunteers and pulling them together. But Amanda, if you can unmute yourself and maybe say hello and say a few words about things that you are looking for.
Sure. Thanks, Mary. Good morning, everyone. If I haven't met you already, my name is Amanda Glennon, and I manage the Consumer Education Center and the Home Buyer Education Program for NeighborWorks here in the Brockton office. Helping out the DBA with some logistical planning for the holiday parade and just engagement and social media and getting people involved. I'm gonna paste it in the chat as well, but there has been some bursts out on social media about getting people involved. So we're still looking heavily for folks to sign up to volunteer, to help with logistics, to be on hand to help the day of, but really largely also looking for parade participants, whether it's community groups or, music groups, local athletic programs, and of course, vendors. And we're really looking at all the downtown businesses, guys, to join in, to just make themselves available and really participate as a vendor. It's been a rough couple of years throughout the pandemic. It'd be really great to just have an awesome day of joy and celebration and get everybody involved in the community. So I'm gonna blast it out in the chat. If anyone has any questions, they can email me and I'll make myself available.
Thanks, Amanda. There is going to be a volunteer or an organization meeting next Tuesday. It will be both virtual and in person at 6 p.m. And we are looking just to kind of continue to grow those ambassadors that are required to do this every year. So I learned from the best in terms of John Marion, and that is the parade is all based upon volunteers, and so really would be helpful. So. Ann?
Yeah, just two things. So we're saying September 27th, 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
here.
It will be here, yes.
Okay, and also Amanda, I'm sorry, I really want you, I have a local community program, and I'm just hoping, she can have my email,
Yeah.
and we can connect, because want to get you on the show to promote as much as possible and do some PSAs at
Awesome.
BCA. Yeah,
Awesome.
so, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks again, Amanda, for taking the leadership, and I know there's a couple other folks like Megan as well as Ann, but also Lisa O'Donnell, who are strong volunteers for us. So thank you for being on and listening. So next is the update from the city, and maybe what I'd do is first is, it's hard from my end here, but Mayor Sullivan, if you would like to open, if you are available, and yep. Let me see.
He's having
Mr.
some,
Mayor,
there we
I
go.
just play one on TV. Good morning, everyone. The mayor is having technical difficulties and has someone in his office. So if you could come in a few minutes, I'd appreciate it. I'm so sorry. We're just
That's
having
okay.
a hard time over here.
Thank you. We'll go then to Councilor Jeff Thompson.
Thank you, Mary. Good morning, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be with you all. So just a few quick updates. The development of downtown Brockton is moving forward. Just recently, I appeared before the ZBA with the petition of developer Joseph Goncalves for 50 market rate apartments on Petronelli Way. And so this is going to be a new development built from the ground up on Petronelli Way, 50 market rate apartments. It's the renderings of this building look beautiful. So that's an exciting new development coming to downtown. Additionally, Joffrey Anatoli's parcel, which occupies the old D'Angelo's on Montello Street. That matter is before the city council with an approval of his tie agreement. And so that's a project that is going to be moving forward. Hopefully we'll be breaking ground on that one early next year. So downtown development is moving forward. As you see, 93 Center Street is under construction, rehabilitating. That should be online by the end of the year, as is phase 2 of the Trinity Financial project. So that one's coming along. I had an opportunity to walk through that with the Trinity Financial's vice president. Really high-end apartments inside that building. And so it's going to be another, a real nice complex in the heart of our downtown. So and 28 Petronelli Way, that is being rehabilitated as well. You can see some of the windows being cut out, the west facing windows being cut out and added to that building. So another project downtown that's moving forward. And so we're just, downtown is really building up, cranes are swinging, and apartments are coming online. And so hopefully the next thing we can start seeing downtown is increase in our commercial development. And so we're hoping that's going to happen soon. But things downtown are looking bright, and I'm really just happy to be a part of it. And thank you, Mary, for for all your efforts with the DBA.
Thanks, Counselor. And just on the, I'm going to just jump to number 8 because you mentioned it, but Ted Carmen from Concord Square has offered a tour tomorrow at noon of the building that goes to any member of the DBA. I highly would recommend it. It's I always go by it on my way into work, and the days that we were looking at the College Collaborative when I worked at Bridgewater State University, there was no better view from that top floor looking into Boston and seeing you actually just see a whole lot from there. But thank you, Counselor. I know that Counselor Azak's on the, I don't know if, Counselor, if you would like to say anything or.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just, it's good to be on with you guys, and I was hoping to be in person, but I got a last minute appointment. So I just want to, I'm excited about all the good things that are happening downtown. So I see the agenda is full, so I'm looking forward to hearing about all the great things this morning.
Thank you, Counselor. And I know Counselor Moses Rodriguez had joined us as well. And just wanted to say thank you, Counselor, for joining us. And we were in the government city kind of commenting part of our agenda, and didn't know if you had, if you would like to say anything at all.
I mean, there's a lot of exciting things happening, and there's just a lot of good things happening. So I just want to highlight the positive, and nothing in particular that I need to speak on this morning, but I just, it's really good to see our downtown flourishing and good things happening.
Thank you, Counselor, again. Before I do move on to Captain Hallisey, I know that we have, and again, I am kind of put us a bit of a time here, but Counselor Moses Rodriguez had joined us, and I don't know, Counselor, if you would like to say anything. You can always put something in the chat. That's okay. No, I know that sometimes on virtual it's a little bit difficult. With that, I know we're waiting for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. That's okay.
How you guys doing?
We're all good. Thank you, Counselor.
I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored to be a part of this initiative, and looking forward to the parade this year. And we'll do what we can to continue to make Brockton a great place to live, work, and play. So whatever I can do from my position here at the association or in the council, you guys let us know, and along with my colleagues who are online here, we will be, because we are in the, we have the notion that Brockton is going to go as far as its downtown goes. So as the downtown moves forward, the rest of the city will follow. So it's important for us to be at the forefront in pushing our city forward. So I'm glad and honored to be here.
Thank you, Counselor. It is important to have that discussion, and again, it's not just the public lifting the weight. It's not just the private businesses and private. It's us coming together, and I think that's where this meeting and the Campello and the Montello Business Association. It's really important that we have those dialogues, and I'm going to get together both with Scott and with Ron, just to see again, see what we're able to have. If we're talking about issues that we have in the downtown area and they're having the same ones, then why aren't we then bringing ourselves together so we're not having everybody run around to us as well. So we're looking for ways to improve, and there's always room to improve upon that. But what I will do is this, if I know when the mayor's ready, just to go into the chat. The mayor is, okay, he's having difficulties. Okay, we will.
I'm here.
Oh, perfect, Mayor
Hi, Mary.
How are you, Mayor Sullivan? Thank you.
Good,
Today's a day for technical difficulties for a lot of people, including myself earlier today. So something's in the air.
Yeah, no, I want to thank you, Mary, and everybody that's associated with DBA and everybody that takes time to get on this call today. Want to just give a real shout out again to Adelsa Mendez, who has left the BRA, but Kadi and Kelly have been awesome. If you have the opportunity to go to the BCA event, the small business, it was awesome the other day. Want to just give you a couple pieces of information that are really pertinent to downtown Brockton. Ted Carmen took a tour the other day with Ted. His property at 93 Center and also on Petronelli is fast tracked to actually be owner occupied or tenant occupied in December, believe it or not. They're really fast tracking. 93 Center is going to be a showpiece. It's 55 units. You can actually, on the 7th floor, you can actually see the Boston skyline. Another really exciting piece of information I want to share is there's a company from Wyoming that is interested in investing $50 million in the city of Brockton. We have done walking tours. I want to thank Rob May. I want to thank Megan Bridges and Troy Clarkson. And I want to thank Dr. Pat Jackson from BRA. It's Vertical Harvest. They have chosen Providence, Rhode Island and Brockton, Massachusetts to do a $50 million investment. They came here, the CEO and the COO came here. We walked with them, we talked with them. They have invited us to go out to their corporate office in Wyoming. But, you know, the Vertical Harvest concept, if you look up their website, is awesome. It's a game changer. It's also a need in the Gateway community. And when you're talking about a $50 million investment, that's hard money, serious money. So a couple other things is that even though it's not in the core of downtown, but it's walking, and for many people, it's the beach, the Cosgrove Pool on the east side. We put in a federal earmark with Congressman Lynch and Senator Markey. I've already committed to use ARPA money to get that back up to speed and to really beautify the east side. And I will tell you that Steve Lynch was here just recently, a week ago Saturday. We have been selected for federal earmark. So what that means is the feds are going to give us additional money for that project. And then the additional savings from the ARPA we can utilize in a different manner in the city of Brockton. So again, I want to thank the DBA. I want to thank Mary Waldron, who is a great multitasker. But I also want to thank all the businesses that are here and those that are going to be coming here, because it's all hands on deck. And we are really seeing some wonderful endeavors. I want to thank Police Chief Brenda Perez, and Fire Chief Brian Nardelli. It's been busy in the city lately. But it's about public health and safety, and we'll continue to work together.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate that. And there's a lot there's lots more. And my hope is that we're able to get folks to really do some of those tours as well, that those that have an interest. I believe Laura Streets from Charity Guild. And in my agenda, I listed it's Catholic Charity. So that was my bad. That was done in haste. But Laura, can you just let me know what's your time frame? I know you're helping give out food, and I didn't know if you had the time frame right now.
No, we're fine, Mary.
Okay,
So
good.
whenever, yes.
Captain Hallisey,
Hi, Mary.
welcome and representing
Thank you.
the new chief, but
Chief Perez apologizes. She had in-service training this week, and she's for that. She had me come down. I just want to say that talking with Chief Perez, we're going to be much more involved. All the business associations, the downtown, Camp Pelham, Montella, we've gone to all the meetings, and we're going to have more of a presence, I think, than before, to hear the concerns of everyone at these business association meetings, to, you know, get if there's any issues, to get them before they get out of control. And we're here to help any way we can. You know, like, you know, in downtown, I know the homelessness is an issue. We're trying to keep on top of that with the walking beats, and maybe even starting some bike beats back. And this time of year is we're more staffed than the summertime, and we can let people downtown and let them know that, you know, the walking beats are, you know, back, and that maybe have to travel around and, you know, do what we can.
that's great.
And I know I've had some complaints on the panhandling, and you know, the law changed a little bit, so that's, you know, that's an issue that we're aware of.
Yes.
And we're doing the best we can, trying to get them the services they might need. And trying to involve the traffic and everything. It's a little different than it was last year. There was some, you know, legislature changes where they have a freedom of expression, and they can ask people for money.
Correct.
But we talked to them and try to get them the help they need, get into services they need.
I have many conversations with around
Yes.
my neighborhood here and my neighbors, but the unhoused and I, the more politically correct, I guess, terminology is, they're people that need some help and they may not want it. But I think the important piece, and while the Captain's here and along with, Mayor Sullivan for your appointment of Chief Perez, and I've been really responsive. For the downtown businesses, they'll say, listen, someone graffitied my building, where do I go? And, or if someone's defecating on their steps, where do I go? And the idea would be that if we see that as it being a recurring and not just my building or the chamber building, but it's happening more frequently, that's where we really need to have a voice and speak up. And the idea would be that you don't come to me, that there would be a point of contact, and Derek Salomon
Yes.
has been a great contact for us, and we'll continue to share his number, but that it is, it's going to take 2 more phone calls if you get to me, but if we are able just to know that it's not a life-threatening or emergency, but it's something that needs to be
And Derek
addressed.
does that, and he'll let us know. And
Yes.
we have a good rapport, and he lets the upper management of the police department know, so we can concentrate on these problems.
Right.
And obviously, a lot of it's mental health issues that these people don't have control of some of the stuff they're doing. And we have to
Yeah.
get them the help more than, be arresting people or anything like that.
Right. And I think, and one of my notices, it was like, there was there's some issues of parking meters being broken into. And so this has been really helpful to have a presence from the police department and to know that that there's issues. Just because I know this tends to be a hot topic for the members, I don't know if anybody has a question for the captain. And if you do, just raise your hand. That's the easiest format. Nope. Great. So with that, next, thank you, Cap. I really appreciate it. And I just also on the side, the city lost a wonderful Brockton police officer recently.
Yes, absolutely.
Jim Smith, and he was, I could say that he was a good friend, and
Yes.
my
To all of us.
sympathies to the police
Thank you.
department. Next is in fact Laura Streets from the Charity Guild, not the Catholic Charities I have here. I have the flyers printed out here.
Thank you.
And maybe Laura, maybe if you could just give a little bit of a review, and then we can maybe we can challenge each other. The DBA can challenge the Montello, and Montello challenges the Campello.
Yeah, no, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I wanted to thank Deputy Chief Williams from the fire department and Mary for inviting me to speak today. I'm Laura Streets. I'm the executive director of the Charity Guild Food Pantry here in Brockton. We're located at 501 Main Street at the corner of Dover. And I know there was reference to the BRA today, and I just wanted to say this. We recently, this has been a really busy couple of years. And we've certainly felt it at the food pantry. We're serving nearly double the amount of clients we did prior to the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, we were serving about 13,000 individuals a year. We're now serving as many as 22,000 individuals a year. And the support of the Brockton community has been really so important to us. And so many of you who are on this call, you know who you are. I mean, we really appreciate the support and the phone calls that we get to people asking us, what can we do to help? So I just wanted to thank everyone for that. And I also just wanted to mention that in the last couple of weeks, if anyone has driven by the Charity Guild, which is formerly Savis's on the corner of Main and Dover, we just had our lot repaved, and that was very much due in large part to the help from the CDBG funding that the Brockton Redevelopment Authority allocates. And so that was so very wonderful to receive. Our lot is now ADA compliant, and there are no longer these big gaping cracks that made it incredibly difficult for us to roll our grocery carts out in the lot. We were toppling a lot of carts. So to have that shored up and safe now for the community is really wonderful. And I also heard reference to the ARPA grant funding, and we're very grateful to the city of Brockton for awarding us the ARPA grant funding that we received earlier this year. And that's really helped us with our day-to-day operations. And so just to get to what we were talking about today, Mary, I did want to mention that September is Hunger Action Month. And we've been doing this fundraiser for a few years now. What we ask people in the community to do is to take action in support of Hunger Action Month by high-fiving us for a $5 donation. And what we typically do, and you might see this on social media if you're on Facebook, but we ask people to take a selfie and post it to their Facebook pages. Sometimes businesses and other organizations will do a group photo of the team doing high fives together, which is awesome to see. And so we ask people to please share a high five selfie. $5 is the equivalent of 2 meals. Prior to the pandemic, that $5 would purchase the equivalent of food for 15 meals. And we all know that the inflation that we're seeing and that food costs are on the rise. So right now, the new equation that we use is $5 equals 10 meals. And so you'll see us doing this on Facebook. And it's something that it would be wonderful, Mary, to your point, you know, if the Downtown Business Association would post some photos and share the link, that's wonderful. We always appreciate it when people help share what we're doing here in the Brockton community. And I did just, before I close, and again, thank you for your time here today. I did want to mention, I know that the holidays are coming up, and we often get a lot of phone calls at the holidays asking if we are doing if people can do food drives for us. And I did want to take a minute to explain that based on the number of individuals that we're now serving, we've really had to reconfigure our operation down here at the Charity Guild. And so at times it's very difficult for us to take food from food drives. We've also noticed in the last couple of years that when we're distributing food, our clients are often looking to see what other clients are receiving. And so we've really had to ensure and explain to our clients that we receive donations, but when that doesn't work, we want to be really sensitive to the fact that we certainly wouldn't want any clients to feel as though somebody's getting something that another person may not be. So we've really been streamlining the food that we distribute to everyone. So when we're distributing food on our pantry days, everyone is receiving the same thing with any kind of special parameters that they ask for and allocating, you know, certain food for maybe somebody that needs low sodium. But I did want to explain that because I know last year we did get a few phone calls, and again, we're grateful to get the calls, people asking if they could donate turkeys to us. And it was very hard for us to do, but we had to politely say we couldn't accept them because we couldn't pass out enough turkeys for everyone. So last year, what we did is we distributed these Thanksgiving meal kits, which we'll be doing again this year. And they're very uniform, and there's all the sides that people enjoy at Thanksgiving. And so we distributed those, and we did refer our clients to some of the turkey resources in the city, which are wonderful for the community. But I just wanted to mention that because I would never want anyone to think that we're not grateful for the phone calls or the offer of food, but we've really, we're limited with the amount of space and cold storage that we have. So I just
That's
wanted to
helpful.
take a moment. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I know I talked a bit, but thank you.
No, this is important work because the folks that are walking by our buildings and that the police are interacting and others, it's important that we are, number one, aware. I think the equity piece in terms of what's best in terms of where you're able to deal with your clients and your customers. But again, it'll be something that we as a DBA will support. You're also having a gala coming up, I know, sometime in October, and the only reason I know that because my daughter is going to be in the fashion show. So well, so it is a fun, but yes.
I have a question for you. You made reference to people trying to bring turkeys to your attention and to your use. Last night I was in a meeting with 5 business leaders putting together plans for a turkey giveaway. Is there a possibility that people who are directing turkeys towards you, if once we have this finalized as to where we're going to do this, is there any way that we could collaborate with each other and people that are directing turkeys towards you could direct them?
So George
giveaway?
and Laura, I'll make sure that you guys get connected and take this offline, but it's the fact it will be an important piece, but $5 gets you what? $10 worth of meals, right? We have that.
$5 gets 10 meals. And so
10 meals, thank you.
and that's, yes, thank you.
And I challenge everyone personally, their business. And I think the work that the Charity Guild does for so many is incredible. Do follow because I know they're always looking for volunteers to help pass out food and for driving and so many different things. So Laura, on behalf of the DBA, thank you and your team and your board for all the work that is done. It truly is God's work. So thank you. We talked about, I'm going to go right on because I know we got some things to cover. We talked about tomorrow's tour. If you are interested, just send me either just a quick email or a note or in the chat to let me know if you're interested so I can give Ted Carmen an interest. I'm going to just quickly touch upon the fact that there's the ongoing discussion about developing a business improvement district. And as I mentioned before in the past, there are 13 currently across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, including Taunton, not New Bedford yet, but down in Barnstable, Springfield, Worcester. And it is a process where the business property owners assess themselves to then perhaps hire someone to coordinate all of this. And I will tell you, just from the seat that I'm sitting in right now, no, I don't get salary, I don't get anything for doing this, but it is a lot of work. And in order for, if we're going to be bringing investment and the mayor and the councilors and everybody's going to be bringing time and there's resources for the PD to make sure that things are clean, we want to sustain that investment. And the only way to do that is to have activities and do a scavenger hunt and us all working together. And it's not, you know, the DBA separately and the BRA separately. It's us coming together with the library and all. So anyway, more to be told about that. And I know that there's some chatter going on in the chat, so don't forget to take a look at those. The structure of the DBA, I'm not going to go into it. I shared the bylaws. I am looking for help. I want anybody and everybody who's interested in being part of either an executive committee. I need help. This is it. I can tell you, it's been over a year that I've been in this interim, and it's not going to continue on in this interim for very much longer. I'm not, Joe, I know Joe Madaio is on this this meeting. We're not going to get into anything deep other than we are in good shape financially, and that we are working with Hugo D'Amatis from Harbor One in a transition. Joe's been the treasurer for a long time. He made the plea the last time. And so Hugo came up to the plate. And so we'll be looking to that's a really important piece as we move forward. So I leave that with you in terms of, I want to say thank you to Joe. He's not leaving quite yet. He just is, there's going to be some time for transitioning. You know, and I shared on this list as well as the parking authority. There's some meetings that they have. We've had a number of businesses that talked about how the meters and the assessment when they have a customer coming in 20 minutes and they're getting a ticket and they're not working. And I just wanted to raise this, and my hope is to have some folks from the parking authority and start having some conversations with them about alternatives in a way that could be a little bit more user friendly. It is revenue coming into city, but because of COVID and people aren't doing things that, you know, anyway, it's more of a policy level, and it is more within the level of the counselors and the mayor. But I bring it, and the police department, but if they're broken, then how are we going to do that? And maybe there's an alternative way. But it's been raised, and I want to make sure that that piece is important. And I did want to at least acknowledge on the call today, and in terms of those who were here, I had, I think Al DiGirolamo from Senator Brady's office. Thank you, Al, for joining. I know you're on. And if you haven't already looked in the chat, and I'll get to you, Chris, in 1 second. Thank you. If Amanda's looking for volunteers, that's in the chat. Please sign on. Steve Damish, thank you for the Brockton Neighborhood Health Center. They have free COVID tests for you and your small business. And then, you know, for pickup. And so thank you, Steve, for sharing your information. That's important because as we're seeing, there's an uptick in COVID. And then Cynthia, just in terms of the neighbor works, in terms of some 37 of senior housing at the Lincoln School and 16 apartments at the Hotel Grayson. That's pretty amazing. Chris Cooney.
Thank you, Mary, and thank you for everything you do and bringing us all together and sharing this information. It's very, very helpful. Just wanted to let folks know that on Friday, we'll be hosting the new police chief as well as the interim director of the BRA. We'll also have Jay Patakos from Mass Development. at Thorny Lee at noon. So if there's still a few seats left, we're capped out at 100 there. But we want to welcome, obviously, the police chief and Patricia or Dr. Jackson, as well as the folks that'll be speaking on the panel. So hope to see you there. We also have the Secretary of Transportation and Economic Development. Both are coming here. It's really unprecedented to have both of them come at the same time to Brockton on the same date. They're coming to an event at Thorny Lee that we're hosting on October 26th. We're hosting it with the New England Real Estate Journal, which typically brings in 100, 150 people, developers and folks that follow the real estate happenings. And quite frankly, Brockton's on the map. It's on the radar right now for a lot of developers. As you heard the mayor mention, and as we've seen in downtown and around the rail stops, that there's a lot of interest about the transition that's going to happen over the next 12 months as the trains start to run from Fall River to New Bedford. Every single one of those trains, which are going to be new, are running through the city of Brockton. And what kind of opportunity will that have? So we want to talk to the Secretary of Transportation about that, Secretary of Economic Development. Again, they'll both be here that day, and folks are welcome to attend. We also just lastly have the annual meeting coming up, and that's on the same day that you have a DBA meeting. So I wanted to bring that up, and hopefully we can maybe move the DBA meeting, because I find these very valuable and I'd like to attend both, and I obviously can't if the annual meeting's happening. We have one of the originators of Life is Good Foundation. He's coming to speak, and he's going to motivate us and that type of thing. So again, thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Chris. Those are all great things that the chamber, and certainly a property owner here in downtown, and supporter of a lot of what is the activities and investments. So thank you for the chamber and your support. On the list of reminders, there we go. So I just want to go to the reminders on some things, but then just Scott, keep putting the notes in the chat. So Scott from Brockton Community Access, obviously if there's things that are going on, the Brockton Community Access does have their community bulletin board, and Scott put that information in there. I do want to be able to, there's like so many things, and I'm like, where do I start? But I'm going to go down my list of reminders. So Farmers Market, still going on. I shared the flyer in one of the notices. Oop. Let me go down to this one. You're fine there. You can go right through so yep. That's the Downtown Fest, so there's a farmer's market. I don't think there's one in the packet that I gave you, Megan, sorry about that. But everybody knows it's City Hall Fridays in the afternoon. It's great. The
10 to 2, yeah.
Everything that they have is fresh. The DBA restaurant guide, I want to be able to say that, so that is up and running, but there are new restaurants that are starting to pop up. So we'll be making some amendments to that list. If you go to the website and to the Facebook page, it's on there. Brockton Community Access and First Fridays continue to do that. Scott, are you still doing that by any chance?
Yes, we are. We're shut down to update and upgrade and renovate the gallery area. So we do have an artist that will be featured in October, and that'll be in the newsletter. That's why I was sharing. If anybody doesn't receive our newsletter or volunteer opportunities as it relates to productions, please just send your email to community@bcatv.org so we can add you, and that'll give you information such as First Fridays. We are going to call it Artist of the Month because not all artists are available the first Friday of every month. So that's a little tweak we made, but yes, we will have it for October, and please do come through. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You'll see it in the newsletter, so this way I know you'll send me your email address.
Perfect. You know what I'll do too, Scott, is just because it's great information to get out there, and I'll be able to share with most of you, with people can receive that. And Brockton Community Access is a downtown property owner. They're right at the corner of Main, and then also Court Street.
Court Street in North Main, yep.
But thank you, Scott, for all the work that you do in getting information out. Down to October 1st, there's a downtown festival. That flyer was put in the packet. Thank you, Megan, for going to that one. It's going to be held at City Hall. Please share the word about that. A lot of good work is being done by Hogan and his crew. So, and then next, I know Steve Damish, if you are on, let's have you chat a little bit about the gala on October 6th.
I am on. Thank you for that. And I'm making a motion first to remove the word interim from Mary's title designation. Anybody want to second that motion?
You have no choice in that one. Get Chris Coody.
No, so Mary in the DBA, I've been around. I'm at the Brockton Neighborhood Health Center now. I was at the Enterprise for 29 years. I know Mary and the city well, and the DBA and Mary are both an incredible asset and resource. And thank you for what you do, Mary, and what the DBA does. I've seen it as a journalist. I've seen it as a person on the other side working for the health center. It's incredible what the DBA brings together. And I want the health center, through me, I hope to do more with the DBA going forward. We only employ 710 people, 350 of which are always at our two downtown clinics. The one we have at 63 Main Street and when we have at Vincenti's, between the two of them, there are roughly 300 people minimum on site each day at these sites working at Brockton. And about a third to half of our employees live in Brockton. So we're all about downtown and all about the city. So on October 6th, very briefly, we're honoring Ken Feinberg at our gala. This gala was the one we tried to have a couple of years ago, and the pandemic intervened 3 days before it was set to happen. We're honoring Ken Feinberg. He's big deal, big name, and coming back to Brockton. And I'm hoping this is not just doesn't help the health center reconnect with this incredible national figure and incredible potential resource, but I hope the DBA and the city can as well, because I've gotten to know Ken really well the last 2 weeks, and he talks about the city all the time. Every time I sent him a correspondence, I include a historical photograph from Stanley Bowman. He loves that. He loves Brockton, and I think he wants to reconnect. And frankly, I've told Ken that Feinberg Way, the side street named for him on Feinberg Day many years ago, which I covered at the Enterprise, he's worth more. He really is in the city for what he's done across the country. And I think there could be some, give and take there if he gets more, just, FYI. I think he's one of Brockton High's most famous graduates. There's a movie about him. He's being played by Michael Keaton in the Netflix movie Worth. And before the pandemic hit, that movie was getting Oscar buzz for supporting actor, and then it didn't get into theaters, and Netflix bought it a year and a half or 2 years later. But it's a good movie, a great movie, and starring Michael Keaton playing a Brockton High graduate, Ken Feinberg. But anyway, very quickly put it, look at that graphic. If you want to take part in sponsoring and tickets and anything with the gala, you can just simply visit bnhc.org/gala. And the good thing about this gala, it's shaping up to be a big Brockton bash. The only thing not Brockton about it is the location, because Brockton can't right now accommodate this many people, but we are gathering at Bridgewater State University in the ballroom, about 280 to 300 people. We're capping it there to keep the space open. We have windows that open, we have high ceilings, and it's not a bad time to have a function like this. And believe me, the health center was afraid of having it into a function. We are the ones who would cancel it first. So it's a good time to have it. But big Brockton contingent coming to this. Feinberg's bringing a bunch of friends. He hopes to have some big name friends like Paul Fireman attend, maybe even Hillary Clinton. We don't know yet. Maybe even Michael Keaton, the actor. We don't know yet. I don't think he's going to make it, but you never know. He would announce it if he were coming anyway. He would just show up, I'm told. I've been trying to get him. Anyway, if you want to come and join us for this big Brockton bash, honoring Ken Feinberg, honoring the Brockton Neighborhood Health Center, and the funds for this are going to go to the Brockton Neighborhood Health Center High School Clinic, which will open at Brockton High School later this year. The city's going to finally get a health clinic at Brockton High School to help serve the 4,200 students over there, which is an incredible, great story. So the funds for this, and I got to make a note of making this more clear in our literature. The funds for this gala are going to help support the clinic at the high school. And so far, the health center is the only / primary sponsor of the clinic at the health center. We're at the high school. we are taking that on ourselves because it's that big a deal, and we need to serve the students over there. And if you see in the numbers, the stats showing how unhealthy the young population in Brockton is, especially high school students, and the mental health issues they face, you'd be shocked and you'd realize how necessary this clinic, which will have full-time doctors and mental health professionals on site every day on campus. It's needed. Anyway, that's it. Gail, October 6th. If you want to come late and show up at the door and buy a ticket, you could. If we didn't sell out right now, you could do that. But I recommend before that you go to the website, guarantee your entrance, and come meet Ken Feinberg, and we might even have a Q&A with Ken, which should be fun. So come meet Ken, celebrate Brockton, and celebrate good health October 6th. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. No, this is great. And the work that the Brockton Neighborhood Health Center does, as you said, those numbers, right, in terms of no, just employees, never mind the folks that come to get the services that you provide. And particularly during COVID, the role that the Brockton Neighborhood Health Center played was just critical. So thank you.
Thank you.
And again, for the support. The information's out, and please tell your friends in your companies. Thank you, Steve. The next is the Hispanic Heritage Month. I provided a parade. I provided a flyer attached. It is in your packet, but it is, I'm sorry.
Yes, Sunday, October 2nd.
Thank you. So it's October 2nd. It's lots of things going on in October. And it is Hispanic Heritage Month this month. So please come and support the community and participating in the parade. I also, the Tower Fest, I did not have a flyer, but I'm gonna scan one of those in.
Yes.
But I believe I handed something out, is that it is gonna be the October 8th from 11 to 4.
Saturday, October 8th,
So
yeah.
it's gonna be at the Tower at DW Field Park. And so thank you, Anne, for that information. There's a Brocktoberfest that's being planned, and that's gonna be potentially at Campanelli Stadium. More to come on that. But in the packet, I also shared, Megan, if you can just go up a little bit on the desert, Brockton to come back, the Heat Islands. So I did want to, the reporter, I did invite Christopher to just say that, we'll be talking a little bit about it. I thought was important, probably was more important to talk about it in July and August when the 10 days of heat are there. But there has been effort that the city has been made with DCR and the gateway cities, and it is truly maybe not enough, ever going to be enough, but I think that's when we really do look at ways to beautify and to improve downtown, more green space, more trees, more shade. We are also just in an area that has pre-existing, has had a lot of trees, but I bring this up only because there's obviously some information that was in there. But it has to also be noted that the work that DCR has made, and Matt Dyer, who actually is a Hanson resident and used to be on the Old Colony Planning Council board, he's so terrific in terms of what they're doing, and now they're in the Campello area. So support that. I think I just bring it up because we do have climate change that's coming, and it does affect our health. And I think it's important that we, as either private businesses or together as a DBA, to support efforts to green the downtown area. So quickly, Ann?
Yes, well, first of all, he said that they exceeded the
Yes,
trees that they
correct.
planted. It was
Mhm.
such a success. And since you said Campello, their business meeting, because this is the Downtown Brockton Association, they're the Campello Business Association, they're back Tuesday, September 27th at 12 noon at Cape Cod Cafe, because a lot of changes going on there in a positive direction. So I think I mentioned that, yeah.
So we have, believe it or not, we have about 5-10 minutes left. I don't know if there's anybody that has anything they want to do a shout out. I know that in the chat. So Michelle, we're looking for some new catering services for different events. If you have offerings, so we can definitely thank you, Michelle. There's always that. Tom, lots of great things happening. Thanks for doing this. The Housing Authority is having their annual meeting tomorrow. So thank you for the work the Housing Authority is doing. And I did want to just go back to, so Scott, in terms of the newsletter, we'll do that, but there was Nadia, Nadia Clancy. Just in terms of thank you for being here. I know you're relatively new. If you know of somebody who doesn't know about these meetings, we're going to remain virtual. It just makes it easier. You can sit and do your typing, but you can listen in. They're being recorded. I support like all of what you're doing, and really important that I see Felicita, who's always at every volunteer and everything that I see. We're talking about, people who are truly, they are dedicated. Like this stuff that I'm doing, I get paid to do a job, but it's really the work of the volunteers to make these events happen, like an Ann and George and others. So please, it takes a village. We've got a village, and I'm going to keep using that while it ages me. But Patty or Kelly, do either one of you have anything in terms of things going on with the Brockton Redevelopment Authority?
Yes, we have a couple things for October. We're looking to do a roundtable. That's going to be October 18. Really focused on minority-owned businesses and workforce development. We also hosting training in marketing and social media. That's going to be at the Cape Verdean Association, October 12th.
Great, thank you, Patty. And Moses, are you still on, or did you leave? I did want to at least just recognize the fact that the new organization is not really new anymore, but the Greater Brockton Minority Business Association and the work that they've been doing, that's a lot of what Patty is referring to. It's collaboration and working with each other, and recognizing they're people that, the DBA has been around for a long time, and so is Campello, but we really need to be thinking about our new businesses and how we can support them, right? The hand up and and be able to support. So
For sure, yeah.
was there anybody that would like to, any other comments? Oh, sorry, Michelle, and then, Pat Monty. So let's go first to Michelle and then let's go to Pat. Thank you.
I just wanted to let people know, in case they don't, that the YMCA is also having a fall festival on Saturday, October 15th from 10 to 3 inside. It's the craft fair at the main branch of the YMCA.
Not know that. See, this is great. Thank you.
Just found out because our friends are going to have a table over there. So you can also go over and buy crafts and support the Friends of the Council on Aging at that event as well.
That's terrific. And Michelle, if you have a contact over there, I'd love to get somebody from the Old Colony Y. I mean, I send it to Vinny, but I want to make sure I get the right person from the Y. So thank you. Pat Monteith and the planetarium.
Right. Hi, Mary. I just wanted to let everybody know that we do have an inflatable planetarium at the library now, and every month we're picking different days and times to have shows there. The next one is going to be on Saturday, October 15th, and I just put my email address in there. I think I had to put it in there the second time, but would love to see people. Because of COVID, we only let 20 people in at a time, so it's pretty important that you make sure you register in advance. But it's been really great. We've had over 200 people participate and come in and view shows at the planetarium since we opened in June.
Wow.
It's awesome. Our seniors went and they loved it.
That's awesome. And Pat, if you have a flyer, first of all, the library, I know I said in one of my emails, the library hands down, there are so many things going. I went there for an event a week and a half ago, when I'm walking out with all these flyers because there's so much going on. So so thank you, Pat, and let's share that. We'll find an easier way, but if there is something, if you tag DBA on social media, on Facebook, we'll get it posted. So thank you, we'll share that.
And by the way, we do loan out the planetarium to nonprofit groups, so you can ask me about that as well.
I'm going to ask you about that. That's a great idea. We might have to have you at the Brocktoberfest. I'm not kidding. I know. Anyway, we'll talk, but thank you, Pat. Scott.
Sure, you alluded to this earlier, and the community bulletin board, everything that everybody just shared, that would be great if we received it. Again, you can send it to info@bcatv.org or community@bcatv.org so that we can put it on the community bulletin board. For those of you who don't know what that is, that in between programs, because programs don't run exactly to the hour. So if a program is, 55 minutes or 28 minutes, in between is announcements that are about events going on in the community. So it's a good way for you to get the word out for those watching the channel. And it also is in the live stream of the channels. So I recommend you, anytime you have a flyer, that you share that. We prefer, but it's not mandatory, a landscape flyer because it just looks better and works better on television. But any flyer will do, just so we have the information. Because I just wrote down about this Cape Verde Association hosting BRA with social marketing training. That would be great for us to put up there. The crafts event over at the YMCA. And these are things I'm not aware of. And if Ann doesn't come visit us, then I won't be aware of it. So I'm just letting you guys know there's a resource here that can help you get the word out, and it's free.
Scott, I don't know if you heard me. I said, you will definitely know when Ann comes your way. You can hear her saying, I'm coming.
Yep, absolutely.
I must have had some different kind of flyer, or maybe I sent it out in the email, but the two big, there's Brockton Community Access is a great resource. Brockton Library has a great resource page of all these things going on. The city has a website that has an events calendar. I just put it all out there. I mean, you talking to baby boomers is one way, another way. Talking to millennials is a total different way. And if we really want to be able to get this out, it has to be communicating with all different ways. And which is why we're going to remain as a hybrid, because not everybody can leave a job and to come in person. So I know I'm losing some folks as we go along the way, because we're coming to the 12th, well, we're past 12:30. But is there anybody else that would like to share anything? The police department is doing something with bicycles.
I don't know anything about that
Yes,
right
but I'm going to find out. We'll share that out there. But I think that that's like a way that we can really put that information, because if you as a property owner, you may not have an interest yourself, but you may have employees that have kids or have elder folks. That's how we as a community need to be continuing to work, and the role of BCA and including Ann as well as George and others. It's important to do that. So I'm going to sign off. If there's any last minute, just raise your hand. Otherwise, have a great, safe week. Enjoy today. Don't forget about the tour of the building tomorrow for Ted Carmen, and otherwise we'll catch up with you. Thank you, everybody.